Today on Fresno State Focus, an update on the charges to Christian Pryor for the social media threat.
Also, we'll show you how young kids are staying active and healthy.
Plus, we take a look at how the winter is affecting the families of field workers.
Fresno State Focus starts now.
Hello and welcome to Fresno State Focus. I'm Gilbert
And I'm Fabiola Ramirez.
The world is in mourning after the tragedy that struck Paris last week. The terror attacks that took place at 6 different locations in Paris were organized by ISIS and left 129 dead. Among the people who were murdered was Naomi Gonzalez. She was a 23-year-old design student from Long Beach State. She was at a restaurant when she was shot and killed during the attacks. Gonzalez was in Paris studying abroad at the Strait College of Design. A vigil was held on Sunday to remember and honor her life.
The former Fresno State student who made a terrorist threat has been charged and appeared in court for the first time yesterday. Christian Pryor is now banned from the university and has been dismissed from the football team. Pryor pleaded not guilty to 1 felony count of making a criminal threat. His lawyer from Southern California did not make any comment against his case. If convicted, he can serve up to 3 years for this felony charge.
Working in the fields is tough. It's a low-paying job and it's seasonal work. People who rely on these jobs have a difficult time in the winter and especially the holiday season. One woman allowed me into her life and shared with me the struggles she faces during this time of year. She starts her morning like every other by making her lunch and getting ready for work, a routine she knows very well. She's been doing it for 14 years. Yuri Salgado came to the U.S. at the age of 20 to start a better life. She's a single mother of 3 and the only provider for her family.
It is really difficult because children need to eat every day. They need clothes and they don't know, and you have to provide for them.
Today she's harvesting grapes under very cold temperatures. The job is very demanding, only pays minimum wage, and in her case does not offer benefits, making it hard for people like Salgado to make a living, especially during this time. With winter quickly approaching, less field jobs are becoming available, making the holiday season difficult for those who rely on this line of work. CEO of Community Development, Jose Antonio Ramirez, says that even though this time of year is supposed to be cheerful, those who work in the fields struggle financially. He recalls his own experience as a child.
We would get teary eyes when we knew that, the holiday season was coming around because it just meant that we were going to have to, tighten our belt and do a lot more sacrifice than typical.
Something Sebastian Lopez can relate to.
It's really difficult. The pay here is very little, and prices keep rising. Gas prices, food especially, more than anything.
But there is help during this time, from organizations like the Fresno Latino Rotary Club, the Community Food Bank, and churches, among others.
I myself have donated, and I really appreciate all the people when I needed their support who have given so much to me.
Making the holiday season just a little bit brighter for Salgado and her family. The Fresno Latino Rotary Club will be holding an event on December 13th to help all those in need.
Lately, students have had the opportunity to watch new movie premieres. Tomorrow will be the Fresno State screening for The Hunger Games, Mockingjay Part 2. Here with us today is Shauna Blair to talk to us a little bit more about it. So tell me, how did this whole idea of putting a screening for students come about?
Well, with the new theater of Maya Cinemas starting right across campus, it's so close to the campus that we said, it'd be great if we could actually show movies that are just coming out instead of ones that we've done in the past, which we had to wait a few months till we could get them through another company and show them on campus. So now you get to enjoy the new theater, you get to see a movie right when it comes out, and then what's great is Maya's doing a fun little $5 special for students as well for concessions, and I think it's just a great deal for students in general.
And how is the funding coming from?
So all the funds come from student fees, so that's why all of the tickets are free to get. It still is first come, first serve. Once we get there, we're limited to how many seats we could have, but it's all through student fees.
And how many tickets did you guys give out?
We gave it out about 500.
500. Is that how many seats there are in the?
There's going to be around 300 seats, but you have to accommodate, unfortunately, for the people that would get a ticket but maybe not come. So we wanted to make sure the people that really want to get in would have a chance.
And what can people expect when they show up to the premiere?
Well, definitely, unfortunately, they're going to have to wait in line, so come prepared to wait in line beforehand. But once you get in, it's going to be a great experience. They can go take advantage of the $5 special. We have some prizes we're going to give out that evening. We have some buttons that anybody can just take that we're making for sure. And it'll just be a fun evening for everyone that likes those movies to watch together.
Now, is there any other movie premieres coming up throughout the semester that students can go to?
This is our last one for this semester. We are looking to do some hopefully next semester.
Do you have an idea of what you guys might do for next semester?
We haven't gotten that far ahead in our programming, so and we're still working with Maya to find out what movies are coming out next semester.
Definitely perfect. Thank you so much, Shauna,
Thank
for
you.
being with us, and we hope to see that movie. We've been speaking with Shauna Blair, Program and Event Coordinator.
Bring out the water bottles and running shoes. Reporter Deanna Giselle shows us how kids are staying active, healthy, and fit in the community.
According to kidshealth.org, 1 out of 3 children are overweight in the U.S. That is why programs such as Kids Moving are joining forces with community leaders and volunteers to combat obesity and encourage healthy lifestyles. Field Day gave children and families a free, safe event that got kids moving and parents learning about healthy life choices.
I really like the idea that it was about getting kids active and keeping them healthy. I know there's just so many problems that we deal with, you know, not having the right food, not getting exercise within the school programs anymore.
Games, activities, educational booths, health screenings, a bounce house, and free food filled this Saturday afternoon. Field Day is targeted at schools whose goal is to build friendships through exercise and put the fun in fitness.
I hope the kids understand that exercise is not just a punishment, it's actually a lifestyle that could ultimately evolve into a greater future.
Field Day took place in West Fresno Middle School and drew in hundreds of active locals.
So jump on the healthy bandwagon along with these kids in the community. Stay active and maybe even switch up one of these to one of these. Diana Giselle, Fresno State Focus.
Fresno State has taken its pride to the skies with the Bulldog Blitz. I had the chance to meet the members of the skydiving team.
When that door opens and you look out, your mind wipes clean of everything else in the world.
We didn't feel like relief on the ground. It was once we were in the air, because at that point, that's where we're comfortable.
The sky is the limit when it comes to the Bulldog Blitz. Fresno State skydiving team was established this year by 4 females.
As a young girl, I used to go to the Fresno State Games with my family, and back then they had the skydivers, and I always thought, wow, that's so cool. And to have the opportunity to get to do that myself is just amazing.
It's in my blood. I've been jumping now for just about 10 years, and I have probably close to 1,100 jumps.
Each member has her reason for jumping, but they all do it for the Fresno State fans.
It's so exciting to be able to kind of share our passion with the crowd, and also to get them pumped up before the game, and to be in a way, an asset to Fresno State.
The all-female skydivers jump into the stadium every home football game, just prior to kickoff. It may seem real easy from the stands, but the girls go through their own nerves just before.
Before every stadium jump, there's just nerves like crazy, because there's the crowd, first of all, a lot of people watching, a lot of pressure to not mess up.
But despite those nerves, the skydivers have a passion for the sport and hope to be part of Fresno State for years to come.
We jump for Fresno State and we represent Fresno State, and we're there to stay. As long as we can keep performing well, landing safely, and everything goes smooth, I think Fresno State would like to have us back.
The 4th member is Nicole Harrison, a professional skydiver based in Los Angeles. Just over a week ago, the Bulldog Blitz family lost a skydiving member. Dave Gilbert, age 65, was known for his skydiving into Fresno State's Bulldog Stadium. He owned and operated the Madera Parachute Center and had over 15,000 jumps. Today, we remember Dave Gilbert.
This is our Fresno State, forming relationships and learning experiences that last a lifetime, making friends who are like family, learning from professors who treat us like family, and earning a degree to make a better future for our family. Nice. Engaging our alumni generation by generation by generation. This is our Fresno State. Welcome to the family.
Success. At Fresno State, it's no secret. It's discovering new ways to change our world. It's creating opportunities as diverse as our community itself. It's in the distinction of our graduates as they lead us into the future. Success is no secret at Fresno State. It's our mission.
The first Thursday of every month, Art Hop takes place in downtown Fresno. Reporter Cecilia Jauregui tells us about one local underground artist who says his art is something different.
I've been drawing that same face for quite a while.
Henry Contreras is one of 3 founders of Fresno Underground Art. He says his passion for art began at the age of 6 when he started drawing hand lettering.
A lot of who I am and what I'm about is in my art, you know. A little bit of Dia de los Muertos, a little bit of Lowrider, a little bit of Cholo. You know, it's just kind of who I am, and I try to put that in my art. You know, I'm not ashamed of where I'm from.
His wife Juliet says they both have a passion for art, and both come from families with artistic abilities. He draws and she makes jewelry that incorporates his designs.
If he could, he'd do it all day, every day. I am not even kidding. It's constant. He's constantly drawing.
Contreras started drawing skulls after his father died. This one, called Bandido, was inspired by his dad, who was a truck driver. Contreras showed Bandido and some of his other work at the Dia de los Muertos themed art hop earlier this month. Bert Aguilar is the marketing director at Tioga Sequoia, which hosted the event.
You know, we're big supporters of downtown Fresno, and we do our events to try to support that.
Contreras invites local artists to exhibit their work for free. They get to keep all of their earnings, and the public benefits by getting to see more diverse art.
To catch more of Henry's art or other underground artists, make sure you check the next art show here at Tioga Sequoia, December 11th. Cecilia Jauregui, Fresno State Photos.
Hunger is a hidden epidemic in our community, but there's an artistic effort going on with the goal to stop hunger in the valley. Reporter Janet Zaragoza has the story.
Jerome Chang is dedicated to helping people who are hungry.
We can give back to the community just a little bit. It helps the community, it helps our culture, and then there's a creative part.
Chang has been throwing clay since he was 10 years old. Each bowl he creates shows his true passion and creativity. When he's done, all of these bowls will help raise money to stock the community food bank.
This is where the process begins. People like Chang and other artists lovingly create bowls that will be donated to a special fundraising event. Even this bowl that I'm making right now will help raise money to feed those in need.
From Chang's studio at the Fresno State Department of Art and Design, this artwork goes to the Empty Bowls Full Hearts benefit dinner. Hundreds of people attended the event last Tuesday. Each one took home a unique bowl made by local artists. Jesse Guerrero took his time looking around for just the right bowl.
To me, this bowl just symbolizes somebody's heart and soul that they put into crafting it, their ingenuity, creativity.
Guerrero says this bowl is brought to life at this event and will continue to give life to someone else. Every month, the Community Food Bank serves about 280,000 residents. 1 in 4 adults and 1 in 3 children struggle with hunger on a daily basis here in the valley. Chang says he is glad to know that his work will benefit families that are in need of food each day. His boss, Una Mallorca, says sometimes people are self-centered and don't realize that others need a helping hand.
It's a wonderful symbol that every time this ball gets used, the donor is not only reminded of their good deed, but of course also of the people within our community who are facing food insecurities every day.
And with the holiday seasons approaching, more people will be turning to the food bank for help. Janice Zaragoza, Fresno State Focus.
If you or anyone you know needs emergency food assistance, call 211. An operator will tell you the times, dates, and locations of food shelters near you. That's your entertainment news. I'm Aldine Williams. Now here's Tiara Richardson with the weather.
Today in the Central Valley, it'll be sunny but still cool. But before we get into that, let's look at our national map. As you can see here in the West Coast, we don't have much activity going on. But once we get into the Midwest, we can see that here there is a lot of snow. And then around here, there's also some rain going on. And we also have some pretty strong winds that you want to look out for. Also, in the West Coast, we have mostly high 50s and some 60s that you want to look out for. And that's going to be consistent all week. Moving on to our air quality. Mostly our air quality is going to be moderate, which is also good. And when we move on to San Juan Queen in the National Park, we have good air as well. But that's not all. Today, we are at 50-degree temperature, and we also have some calming winds coming in from the southeast west at 5 miles per hour. There's also going to be a 49% humidity. Today in our forecast, we have mostly high 60s going on, and that's going to go all the way into the rest of the week. But when we get to Tuesday, we figure out that there's going to be some rains going on in the afternoon. And that's all with Tiara Richardson. Back to you, Gilbert.
Thank you, Tiara. The Band Spectacular is a musical event like no other. It only comes around once a year and features a wide variety of musical groups. With me today is Director of the Fresno State Wind Orchestra, Dr. Gary P. Gilroy. Thank you for being with us today, Dr. Gilroy.
You're welcome.
So what can you tell us about the Band Spectacular?
Well, the Band Spectacular has been going on since I've been here, which is 23 years, and it's quite an event. It usually sells out. We get a pretty good audience of people coming to see all the different bands playing. We have a lot of bands. We have way too many bands that you could have in one concert, but we feature the top concert band, the top jazz band, and of course the Bulldog Marching Band.
This is great. Is there any other events like this where that gathers all these bands and puts them together in one event?
Not on our campus.
About how many people do you expect to have at this event?
Well, we'll probably have about 300 people in the audience, and there'll be almost 300 people performing, probably between all the different bands. It used to be that the marching band was small enough that they actually played inside the concert hall, but it's gotten so large that after about my second year here, that was ridiculous. So we have the wind orchestra play inside the concert hall and the jazz orchestra, and then everyone goes outside to hear the marching band right outside the concert hall, and the marching band just fills the night sky with great sounds.
Is there any specific band you're looking forward to?
Well, of course, I'm the conductor of the wind orchestra, so that's very important to me. I used to be the director of the marching band for 13 years, but now for the last 10 years I've been director of the wind orchestra. So that's the most special part to me. But all the bands are very important here at Fresno State, even the bands that are not performing.
So what would you tell people to get them to come out to this event?
Well, I'd say get there early because you're not going to get a seat otherwise. It's a very popular event. A lot of our alumni who are out teaching as band directors around California, they'll come as far as Bakersfield. They'll bring even a half a busload of kids just to show them what Fresno State is all about. It's a great sampling of our band program. And it's always wonderful to see so many band directors who drive so far with their students to show off their alma mater, Fresno State.
Definitely. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you having you here.
Thanks for your time.
We've been talking to Dr. Gilroy, director of the Fresno State Wind Orchestra. You can purchase your tickets at the Fresno State Concert Hall. General admission is $15.
The Fresno Wildlife Rehabilitation Center is a place that takes in orphaned, injured, and illegal birds. This center helps give those birds a home. Andrew Worth takes us through the life of one of these high flyers.
Koji
is a 10-year-old Eurasian eagle owl. He was one of 5 eggs smuggled into the U.S. after a man colored them like Easter eggs.
And what they had done was, there was actually basically a sting operation, and they confiscated 5 birds from 2 fairly young falconers who had been hired by a man who had it in for the federal government.
Fortunately, Koji is a perfectly healthy bird, but cannot be released into the wild because his species is not native to the U.S. Jamie Carlino, a volunteer at the Wildlife Center, said that Koji has the biggest personality of all their birds.
Toys specifically, he loves his toys. Some birds, they aren't so fascinated by them, whereas he loves them. He plays with them all night. They'll end up in his pool. He'll even put them away sometimes.
They may be birds, but they act like humans more than we think. Sometimes they want the attention, and other times they just want to be left alone.
So Koji here weighs about 4 1/4 pounds and stands at about 24 inches tall. But for his smaller species, he does eat a full quail a day, which I'm told is quite a bit, and he cleans it down pretty well.
These birds have been seen at many events across the Central Valley. Barry Berryman first saw the birds at the Wildlife Center open house and said he was immediately intrigued.
I want to be able to give back and help these people find them. When they find these injured birds, to bring them back. And a lot of them, they can't let go. And I found that. I thought maybe they brought them back and then let them go, but they can't.
Whether they are in the wild or at the Wildlife Center, these birds are amazing creatures. With the help of the Fresno Wildlife Rehabilitation Center, birds like Koji have a fighting chance to survive. Andrew Worth, Fresno State Focus.
Coming up in sports, we'll be talking to a rugby player, and he'll tell us about their season.
Plus, learn about how a blind archery class is making a difference in the community. Stay tuned for sports with Kaylina Speakman.
I got the Bulldog spirit up in my head.
Up in my head.
Up in my head.
I got that Bulldog spirit up in my head. Up in my head to stay. I got that Bulldog spirit deep in my heart. Deep in my heart. Deep in my heart. Got that Bulldog spirit deep in my heart. Deep in my heart to stay. I got that Bulldog spirit down in my toes. Down in my toes. Down in my toes, I got that Bulldog spirit. Down in my toes, hey! Down in my toes to stay. I got that Bulldog spirit. Up in my head, deep in my heart. Down in my toes, I got that Bulldog spirit. All over me to stay. I got that Bulldog spirit.
Deep in my heart.
Deep in my heart, deep in my heart. I got that Bulldog spirit.
Fresno State's football team traveled to Hawaii this past Saturday and got their first road win of the season. Zach Greenlee threw for 6 touchdowns and led the Bulldogs to a season high in points, passing yards, and total yards in his first start since October 3rd. Fresno State easily won 42-14, and Coach Struder likes seeing this confidence in his team moving forward.
It feels a lot better than the last few weeks. Really proud of our guys' effort. Times guys can check out. We've got a bunch of guys on our team that have a tremendous amount of pride.
Your Bulldogs will travel to Provo, Utah to take on BYU this Saturday in the final road game of the season. Rugby is a high-intensity, action-packed sport that has been around for many years, but some might not know they can be a part of this team right here at Fresno State. I'm here with Marquez Watkins, Fresno State rugby player, and he's here to tell us a little more. Thank you for being here, and I'm glad we finally were able to shine a light on rugby this season. Can you tell us a little bit about your team?
Thank you. Growing from the high school program all the way up to collegiate level, rugby is definitely a growing sport here. It'll finally be aired in the 2016 Rio Olympics this year. Yep. So it's definitely a growing sport here this year. We got about 30, 35 guys on our team this year. So we're looking to grow and be a better program this year.
And is this a club that people can join? Do you have to try out? Like, how does the process work if someone wants to be a part of the team?
Practice is Monday, Wednesday, Friday over at Vinland Park from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. You can just come out, or if you see anybody wearing some Fresno State rugby gear, you can just go up and ask them, and they'll give you more information on it.
And do you have to have a background in rugby, or do you guys kind of teach them?
Anybody who's got a heart, anybody who's willing to play sports, we're always looking for new brothers and new players on our team.
And, you know, rugby is kind of like a mix of football and soccer, but the only difference is you guys don't have any padding or protection. Yeah. Like, how hard is it to play like that?
It's definitely more of a it's a physical sport actually, but it definitely hurts playing, not having any pads. But I mean, with all the adrenaline that's running in, you kind of don't feel what's going on until the next day.
Do you guys get a lot of injuries just because of it?
Yeah, we get a lot of injuries all the time. Mondays are definitely ice pack days. There's like half the teams on the sideline with an ice pack on, just about all kinds of injuries.
And then I see you brought the game ball.
Yeah, I
it's
did.
obviously it's shaped differently than a football.
Yeah.
How is like the holding and everything?
It's definitely a bigger ball. Like you said, you have to kick it forward. It's a mixture of football and soccer. You want to hold the ball usually with two hands to kind of pass the ball easier when you get tied up with defenders to somebody who's running at pace to kind of move forward through arm tackles. So.
And when can people check out your guys' next game?
This Saturday we actually play Kyle State Northridge. Sorry.
And where's the game going to be held?
Vinland Park at 1 p.m.
Alrighty, well thank you for being here.
Thank you.
We've been talking to Marquez Watkins, Fresno State rugby player. Break the Barriers is home to many programs, but this one is one of its kind. I got to get a first-hand look at how this program is changing people's lives.
Another yellow.
Hitting the bullseye is hard enough. Now imagine hitting it and not being able to see it.
Nice job. That was right next to your first one.
Nathaniel and Gabriella do just that. They take part in Break the Barriers blind and visually impaired archery class. A class that doesn't let how you see determine how you shoot.
I have 25. He has 18.
Friendly competitions among these two kids keep the fun going.
We adopted him when he was 4 years old from China, so he lived in an orphanage for 4 years, and because of his disabilities is why he was in an orphanage, and so to be at a place that embraces those disabilities is an amazing thing for him.
That's what this place is all about, breaking that barrier.
It's awesome that Gabriella, there's not a whole lot of things that she's able to participate in, and so this is something that she loves and can have an awesome identity in, and something she can learn and grow in and feel proud of. And so she loves it.
One whistle, right? So 2 whistles, come to line, get ready. 1 whistle, pull the arrow and start shooting.
This class is taught by Central Valley native and Paralympic gold medalist Jeff Fabry. He lost his arm and leg and still finds a way to shoot, with his mouth. Giving back and helping these students is what puts a smile on his face.
These two guys are great. I mean, every Monday, I know I'm going to have 2 kids rolling in here at 4 o'clock with a smile on their face wanting to shoot arrows.
These kids don't let their vision keep them from doing what they love.
For the end of the day for me, it's a big pick-me-up.
This is just another sport the visually impaired can't be excluded from. For Good Sports, Kaylina Speakman, Fresno State Focus.
Other programs, contact Break the Barriers at 559-432-6292 or breakthebarriers.org.
Did you actually get to practice and shoot?
I did. I actually was able to grab a bow and arrow and shoot. It took me about 3 tries to finally hit the bullseye, but I finally got it.
Wow, and were you covered?
No. So I can't imagine, how hard it must be for them, but they get it done.
So Thanksgiving's next week, guys. Any plans?
Well, I'm going to LA, see some family.
Definitely.
That's going out of town too, and I'm getting a new puppy.
Oh,
so
wow.
that'll be my Thanksgiving present.
This is your Black Friday shopping then.
Oh yeah, Black
Early.
Friday shopping, definitely.
And we do not have a show next week also.
No.
So we can just kind of go Black Friday shopping and whatever else you guys need to do.
Not for me.
Definitely.
Just relax.
Too much Black Friday. It's too much. Too many people.
I've done it in the past before, and I don't know if I'd recommend it to anybody.
I've done Black Thursday, but not Black Friday.
Next time on Fresno State Focus, we preview this year's Christmas Tree Lane.
Plus, we'll learn what makes Kearney Mansion a historic landmark in the Central Valley.
Also, we ride in the horse-drawn carriages of Clovis.
Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you after Thanksgiving.